Good morning, students. Let's start with the chapter 9, Ammonia, part 2. In part 1, we have covered with the preparation of ammonia and occurrence of ammonia. In this part, in this video, we are covering the properties, test and uses of ammonia. Students, regarding the properties, first of all, we have to study the physical properties. Under the physical property, the first one is color. It has the colorless nature, odor, strong, pungent, choking smell that is the identifying feature of ammonia. Taste, slightly bitter or alkaline in nature. Due to this alkalinity or alkaline taste, it is basic in nature. Physiological action, it is non-poisonous in nature, but if it is taken in large amount, then it will affect the heart. It stimulates the heart and may cause when it is inhaled in large quantity. Generally, when we inhaled it, it affects the respiratory system and brings tears to eyes. Density, lighter than air. Its vapor density is 8.5. Nature, alkaline nature, we have already studied it. Liquefaction, it can easily liquefy at the 10 degrees Celsius, but that 10 degrees Celsius is be attained by compressing it at a pressure 6 atm. Boiling point, it boils at minus 33.5 degrees Celsius. Freezing point, again it melts at what? Minus 77.7 degrees Celsius. Solubility, it is highly soluble in nature. Due to this highly solubility, your basic nature can also be identified. We can clear this one highly soluble nature by the fountain experiment. That fountain experiment proves that the ammonia is highly soluble in water. This experiment is based on the pressure difference. Due to that pressure difference, the movement of the particle from the higher concentration to lower concentration occur, and we observe the different results. Always remember, fountain experiment principle is based on the pressure difference. Now the setup of the fountain experiment that is before you. In that one, what is the whole setup is being set by the proper stand as it is shown. In that one, a round bottom flask is being used, which is inverted in nature. Inside this round bottom flask, ammonia gas is present, a dropper is present that is filled with water, a jet is there which is being immersed in the trough containing a red litmus solution. What is happening now? First of all, for at the starting, we are just pressing this dropper which is filled with water. As we press it, the water rushes out, it moves inside your inverted round bottom flask where the ammonia is present. As we know, the ammonia gas is highly soluble in water. It will dissolve in the water, and by dissolving this one, the pressure inside the round bottom flask decreases. Always remember what is happening here. Inside the flask, the pressure decreases, but outside the flask, the pressure is more. What will happen now? From this trough, from the jet through the jet, this solution will move up from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. As the red litmus solution is present in the trough, it moves, it rushes out from the jet towards the round bottom flask, and it will come out through the nozzle. As the nozzle opening is very small, this litmus solution will splashes out like a fountain. But the color of this litmus solution will turn blue. Now the question is, why it is turning blue? The reason is ammonia is basic in nature. It will turn the red litmus solution blue in an aqueous state when it is dissolved in water. It means by this experiment, it proves two things. One is the highly solubility of your ammonia gas, and second is the basic nature of ammonia. Basic nature of ammonia. Due to that one, what is your red litmus solution is turning blue. Student, by this one, the physical properties are over. We are proceeding to the chemical properties. One thing always keep in your mind that the chemical properties observation are very, very important. Keep in your mind the observation of each reaction is very important, and you have to learn it properly, because in the exams mostly the observations are coming. Now one by one we will study the different your chemical properties. The first chemical property is your thermal dissociation. What the meaning of the thermal dissociation means? The dissociating of your molecule under the effect of heat. When the high temperature or the electric spark is given to the ammonia, it will dissociate into the nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. That is thermal dissociation. Means up to and until we are not providing the high temperature or electric spark, it will not dissociate. Second property, that is your basic property or basic nature. As we have earlier in the fountain experiment also, we have studied that basic nature is only be studied when it is in aqueous state or in aqueous solution. And if it is in the liquefied form, then it will be the neutral. Means when the water will be there only, then it will be showing you what? Your properties of the basic nature. It will turn the red litmus blue. Otherwise, if it is a liquefied form, it will be neutral. The reason behind, because it has a covalent molecule, and that covalent molecule can only be giving its ion under the water. In an aqueous solution, this basic T is due to one main reason. As we all know, in ammonia there is a presence of lone pair. That lone pair are responsible for the basic T of your ammonia. As we know, that is a weak base, and when ammonia is being treated with the water, it will form the ammonium hydroxide. As the reaction is clear, ammonia is treating with the water, and there will be a formation of ammonium hydroxide. And when the ammonium hydroxide is being again dissociated, what will be there? The ammonium ion and hydroxide ion. Ammonium ion are the positively charged ion, and negatively charged ion are the hydroxide ion, which show that your what? Alkaline behavior. It means OH negative ion or the hydroxyl ions are responsible for the alkaline behavior. But after that one, we are proceeding to the next one, that is next property about the ammonia. In this one, we have studied the different your alkaline nature. These alkaline nature can be studied by a indicator, the different types of the indicator. First is your which one? Your moist litmus. Always remember students, we have to take the moist litmus. If we are taking the dry litmus, then it will not give the result. The red litmus turn blue when it is moist in nature. Moist means under the water. Methyl orange, with the methyl orange indicated, it will turn the yellow. Phenolphthalein, as the phenolphthalein is colorless, it will turn pink. It will turn pink with the effect of your ammonia. Next, we are proceeding to the next chemical reaction, that is reaction with oxygen. Oxygen, which is responsible for the oxidation. And that oxidation or combustion is done with the oxygen. Here, ammonia is a non-spotter of your combustion. It can extinguish the burning candle or burning split. Another thing, when ammonia burns in oxygen, that is observation. This one, when the ammonia burns in oxygen, it gives the yellowish green flame. I am repeating, it gives the yellowish green flame. That can be studied by this one experiment, in which we are studying that how the yellowish green flame is being created. This is your test tube which is being inverted. From the one side, the dry ammonia gas is being injected. From the other side, the oxygen being entered. The setup of the dry ammonium gas is going to be up, means it is a longer one than the oxygen. What will happen in this one? In this, when the procedure occur, you will say, what you will be studying, that the ammonia, when it comes in contact with the oxygen, it burns with a greenish yellow flame and produces a water vapor and nitrogen. Means when the ammonia is being reacted with the oxygen, then there will be a formation of the nitrogen and the water vapor. These nitrogen gas and the water vapors are very your considering point. The reaction is irreversible and the whole reaction is exothermic in nature. As it is exothermic in nature, it can be explosive and dangerous. That's why while doing that one, we have to take very much precautions. After that, the next thing is the catalytic oxidation of ammonia. Catalytic means the oxidation will be going on, but under the effect of what? Catalyst. We are taking here the catalyst, that is the platinum, which will increase the rate of reaction, which will increase the speed of reaction. Here also again, the dry oxygen we are taking from one side and dry ammonia from the another side. Under the effect of the platinum, that is a catalyst, what will happen? In that reaction, when ammonia and oxygen come in contact, the first of all, then which one? Your nitrous oxide is forming. Nitrous oxide with the heat is being eliminating and the water vapors. I'm showing you the equation first, then I will clear it more. Check it. Here, ammonia react with oxygen with the catalyst platinum at the temperature 800 degrees Celsius. What is forming? Nitrous oxide, NO. In the gaseous form, heat means the exothermic, water vapor, that means it is liquid in nature or aqueous in nature. How the process is going on? Let's check the setup. From the one side the dry ammonia, from the another side the oxygen being entered with the platinum as a catalyst. As it is going on, the reaction start. With the starting of the reaction, here the water droplets, you are seeing that. Here the water droplets are being collected, and from this delivery tube, the nitrogen oxide, means the nitrous oxide is being collected here. it will again react with the oxygen, and the oxidation process is going on, which will form the NO2 gas, which is brown in color. Here the observation is that the brown coloration, the brown gas will eliminate, that is NO2. Students, I am repeating, the formation of the brown gas, that is nitrogen dioxide. The reddish brown vapor of the nitrogen dioxide is seen in the flask due to the what? Your oxidation of the nitric oxide. Here the platinum, which is being used as a catalyst, it glows after the reaction. Even the heat is not given. The reason? Because the reaction is exothermic in nature. After this catalytic oxidation, the next thing is your what? Ammonia acting as a reducing agent. Here the reduction of the metallic oxide we are studying now. Reducing action of the ammonia. We can take the either copper oxide or the lead oxide. Here in the diagram, the copper oxide is being taken. Treating with the dry ammonia. When the treatment of the copper oxide with the dry ammonia is there, what is forming? The reaction will give us the copper with water and nitrogen gas. Check it now in the diagram. From the delivery tube, here the water is being collected. Water is being collected, water is coming in the which one? Vapor state. From the cold water that is present in the trough, it will cool down. And the gas move from this one delivery tube to the, from this cylinder to the which one? Above side, that is nitrogen gas. Here the nitrogen gas is being collected. And this water can be checked up or tested by adding the anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate has the color white, which will turn the blue. This shows that that is your what? It is your water vapors are present in that experiment. Here the main observation, that is the formation of copper. That formation of copper from the copper oxide, its observation is that it is reddish brown in color. Reddish brown in color. This experiment can also be done. Instead of the copper oxide, we are taking a lead oxide. And what we are collecting, instead of the copper, we will collect the lead with the water and nitrogen gases there. This is the reducing action of the ammonia. When we are doing the reducing action, one thing more that in your syllabus, that is the reduction of chlorine. Reduction of chlorine to the hydrogen chloride is there. How the process is going on? Check it. Ammonia is being treated with the chlorine gas. There will be a formation of the nitrogen with HCl. Here one thing that is very much important, that we are taking ammonia in excess. When we are taking ammonia in excess, then there will be a formation of the nitrogen N2 with ammonium chloride. How the result is coming? Ammonia with the 2 molecule react with the chlorine. There will be a formation of an N2 with the 6 molecule of HCl. 6 molecule of the ammonia with the 6 HCl result in the ammonium chloride, that is your white solid. These is being treated, we are adding it, all the things, what is there, we are taking excess of ammonia, check it, in that one excess of ammonia is there, which will result in the white solid, that is your ammonium chloride. It means when your excess of ammonia is being used, then there will be a formation of the white solid, that is ammonium chloride. And if we are taking the chlorine in excess, then instead of which one, your N2 and ammonium chloride, there will be a formation of hydrochloric acid with NCl3, that is nitrogen trichloride. That nitrogen trichloride is liquid in nature and it is highly explosive. It means the two reactions are going on. One is the ammonia in excess and second one is your chlorine in excess. And the result for your part of the both the reactions are different. Next is your what? Next reaction that is based on the aqueous solution of ammonia with soluble metal salts. When we are studying that one, these salts, students, are very, very important. Here the metallic salt solutions are treating with the alkali, ammonium hydroxide, weak alkali we are taking. By that one, the ammonium salt is forming. With ammonium salt, the metallic hydroxide, which are insoluble in nature, I am repeating it, it is insoluble in nature, that's why the PPT is forming. But the PPT of all the metallic hydroxides are different. The color of the precipitates are different, and that is its specific observation. In these reactions, the different observations are there and they are very important, and the questions can be there from this table. Always remember this table will come in the two ways, either the completion of the reaction and second is the what do you observe. Give the specific observation. Like that the questions will be coming. I'm giving you one example. Give the specific observation when the ferrous sulfate is being treated with the ammonium hydroxide. Here you have to write it. After the treatment, there will be a formation of the dirty green precipitate of the metallic hydroxide or ferrous hydroxide. This is its specific observation. And when it is taken in excess, it is insoluble in nature. Student, these 2 points are very, very important on the point of view observation. Learn it thoroughly and learn it by writing with your chemical equations. All these reactions are being used for the qualitative analysis of the identifying cations, means in analytical chemistry we are using it, means for knowing the quality of a different cations we are using this reaction. That is your reaction of the aqueous solution of ammonia with the soluble metal salt test. After completion of this one, your reaction, we are coming to the dissociation. Dissociation reaction or the thermal dissociation. Check it how it is happening with the ammonium salts. When we are taking a dissociation process, ammonium chloride as it is being dissociated into ammonia and HCl. Same ammonium nitrate when treated, the nitrous oxide with the water is formed. Nitrous oxide, that is your laughing gas. That N2O gas, it is explosive in nature, that's why we are not preparing in the lab. Here the ammonia when treated with the water, generally you know it that is ammonium hydroxide. And that ammonium hydroxide is when treated with the different your acids, different types of the acid like HCl, HNO3, sulfuric acid, then there will be a formation of the different types of the ammonium salts like ammonium chloride, ammonium nitrate, ammonium sulfate with the water. Here one thing is clear that the aqueous ammonia, always remember the formula of aqueous ammonia is ammonium hydroxide, means NH4OH. Ammonia when it is aqueous, it means that is ammonium hydroxide treated with the different acids and ammonium salt with the water is eliminating. Kindly learn it, these reactions. After completion of these reactions, our chemical properties are over. You have to learn it by writing all the reactions and learn the observations also, because these observations are very, very important. Mostly in the exams, the two types of the questions are coming. One is the complete that your equation, and second, what do you observe? Students, after completion of the chemical reactions or properties, we are proceeding to the test of your ammonia. That test of ammonia gas and ammonium ion, both we are studying here. Regarding the ammonia gas having a piccolo odor, that is a sharp characteristic odor, pungent choking smell we can identify very easily. And when it is in the aqueous state, it will turn red litmus blue. That red litmus blue is we have studied already in the fountain experiment. Next property, that is a very important property, that is a dense white fume with concentrated HCl acid. Here, ammonia when treated with the HCl, there will be a formation of the ammonium chloride. That ammonium chloride gives the dense white fumes. Next one test which can be identified, which can be used for the testing of ammonia, that is copper sulfate, as we have studied in the catalytic oxidation also. In that one, we have done that when the copper sulfate blue precipitates are being formed, when ammonia gas is passed to the copper sulfate solution, blue precipitates are formed. I'm repeating, when ammonia gas is passed to the copper sulfate solution, blue precipitate is formed. And its color changes to the deep blue coloration when we pass it in excess. Means ammonium hydroxide, if we are taking, or ammonia gas we are taking in excess, it will turn to the deep blue coloration. Next property, that is, generally ammonia gas is being produced when it is treated with alkali. Whenever we are treating the alkali, then there will be a formation of a ammonia gas. Normally alkali, the sodium hydroxide and the potassium hydroxide we are taking, and by this one ammonia gas with a pungent choking smell we are observing. Very, very important point. The next is coming, that is the chemical test of testing the ammonia. It gives the brown coloration with a Nestle reagent. All ammonium salts give the brown color or the precipitate with the Nestle reagent. Now the question arises, what is Nestle reagent or Nestle solution? It is what? The combination of potassium, mercury and iodine with the name mercuric iodide. That mercuric iodide is being treated with the potassium hydroxide, and there will be a formation of the potassium mercuric iodide. K2HgI4 is its formula. It gives the brown coloration with your Nestle reagent, that is your chemical test. Whenever the identifying test is coming, then you have to write this test, that is Nestle solution or Nestle reagent test. After completing your test of the ammonia gas and ammonium ions, we are proceeding to the last topic of this chapter, that are uses of ammonia. Ammonia is being used in the different fields. So many uses are there of ammonia. One by one we are studying it. First of all is the liquid ammonia is being used as a refrigerant in the ice plants. We are using an ammonia in a refrigerant. The reason behind is that it is a colorless liquid. It is clear when it is in the anhydrous ammonia, and it evaporates rapidly. And whenever the evaporation is there, then the cooling effect occurs. As the evaporation is rapidly, the cooling effect is again at the rapid state. That's why it is a good refrigerant. The second most reason is there so many another refrigerants are also there, like freon, chlorofluorocarbon, but they having an adverse effect on our environment. They are depleting the ozone layer. The holes are being made in ozone layer. That's why the ammonia is the best one that is environmental helpful, and that one will not deplete the ozone layer, and it will not participate in the global warming. The next one is the laboratory reagent. The very good reagent is the ammonium aqueous. Aqueous ammonia is there. Aqueous ammonia emulsify fat. What is emulsify? Dissolve. Emulsify means dissolve. It dissolve fats. Ammonia having aqueous ammonia having a property to dissolve fats like grease. That's why it is used for the cleaning of the tiles, windows, to remove the grease or the perspiration stain from the clothes. Next important point, that is the manufacture of the different things like nitrogenous fertilizers. As the name is indicating, the nitrogenous fertilizers, here the main thing that is coming, that is urea. The preparation of urea is done with the methane. When the ammonia, sorry, I have used the word methane, that is not methane, that is ammonia. When ammonia treated with the carbon dioxide at the 150 degrees Celsius, at 150 atmosphere, the urea is forming with a water molecule. Ammonia or ammonium salts, when decompose, then there will be a formation of some explosive also, like ammonium nitrate. When being heated, nitrous oxide with the water is forming. That water is in the vapor state. It means no residue is being left, because N2O is also a gas. Used in the dry cell, which ammonium salt is being used? The question is there, that is ammonium chloride. We are using ammonium chloride in the dry salt. Used as a smelling salt? Yes, of course it is using as a smelling salt for reviving a fainted person. And the example of it is ammonium carbonate. Ammonium carbonate is being used as a smelling salt to revive a fainted person. For the preparation of the nitrogen gas, as we have already done in the chemical properties, nitric acid by the Ostwald process. Next chapter in your syllabus, that is the nitric acid, and we will do that one also. Whenever we will doing that chapter, then the Ostwald process will be clear to you, that how the nitric acid is being prepared from the ammonia. Sodium carbonate by the Solvay process. Again, Solvay process in which we are taking the sodium carbonate, and that sodium carbonate is being prepared from the again ammonia with another your molecules also that are being treated, and step by step after that the sodium carbonate and the bicarbonates are forming. It means that for the manufacturing of the so many things, another thing, that the nylon, rayon, sodium cyanamide, plastics, dyes, organic chemicals, explosive, wood pulp, so many things are being prepared from the ammonia is there. By this one, your uses of ammonia are over, and your chapter is also finished. Kindly go through this chapter thoroughly. Learn the reactions by writing. Underline the observation in your book, and try to solve all the questions which are present in your textbook. After that, we will be taking your doubt session to clear all the doubts regarding any topic, any your line or any your reaction. Up to that, solve your exercise, and in your doubt section you can ask any question regarding your what ammonia chapter. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.